Hey class, I'm here with the lovely Raymond, and he's gonna go ahead and help me demonstrate some of the movements of the joints. So we're gonna actually coordinate these exercises with that dumbbell down there. So first exercise we'll go over is flexion. So as he flexes up, he's flexing his bicep. That's the action or movement of bending the arm and the joint or limb that's decreasing the angle. So that's flexion, and down would be extension. So completely opposite of flexion. So down is extension, up is flexion. And extension, downward, would be basically the straightening movement of the body part, so it's increasing the angle. Next one we'll go over is abduction. So he's going to move the dumbbell towards the sky, away from his midline, and then when he moves it back down, that would be adduction. So up, abducting, I like to think of that as like aliens abducting you from Earth, and then adduction is towards your midline of your body. So then the next one we'll go over is protraction and retraction. So protraction is when your anterior movement of turn to the side and then go ahead and put the dumbbell towards the floor. So his shoulder blade is actually moving forward, so anterior to his body. And then as he retracts it back, his shoulder blade is going backwards. That's retraction. So back down is protraction, anterior movement or body part towards forward of the body, and then retraction is backwards to the posterior. So let's do a couple of other exercises here. You can put the dumbbell down, do some arm circles. So when I think of circumduction, I think of arm circles. So his shoulder blade there is pretty stable, and then the distal part of his body is doing, as I like to think of, little visuals of circles in the air. So I like to think of arm circles as circumduction. Next one we'll do is rotation. So if you want to move your head back and forth, side to side, left and right, that's a good visual symbol of rotation. You want to go ahead and rotate your abdominal. That's another visual of rotation there. Thanks, I bet that feels good. All right, so the next one we want to go ahead and do is supination. So supination is when your palms are facing up or towards the sky. And then pronation would be the opposite, when you rotate your hands or forearms downwards or towards the ground. We're going to do a couple exercises. So Raymond's going to go ahead and do a push-up. And that would be pronation. So his palms are facing down as he's doing a push-up, so that's a good way that I like to think of pronation. Then he's going to get on his back, grab the dumbbell, and then go ahead and do a little tricep workout here. Not only is this flexion and extension, but his palm is facing up towards the sky, so that would be supination. Another exercise that I think of when I think of supination is when someone's bench pressing at the gym and their palms are facing the sky. All right, thank you. You can get up. The very last exercise we'll do here, Raymond, is dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. So plantar flexion is pointing of the toe. So the bending of the foot downward as if you are pointing your toe. An exercise that I like to think about is when you're doing calf raises. So his toes are pointing towards the ground. So I hope everyone's learning through all these little exercises. I'm learning as well through these movements. Kind of helps you remember. So I bet after a bunch of those, it kind of burns. So a good exercise is to put your foot towards the wall or an object and kind of lean forward. So as you see here, he's actually performing dorsiflexion. So he's stretching out his calves, and you can see that his foot is actually pointing towards his leg or towards the sky. So that's a really, really, really good way to think of dorsiflexion. And that pretty much sums up all the movements. I hope you guys learned from my video. Say bye, Raymond. Thanks for helping me. You guys have a good one.